Good morning, everyone. Um, I'm in uh, Seoul, Korea right now. This is a place that um, I'm on the way to China, and whenever we travel to China, we pass through Korea. And we're in a town just right outside of the airport. And when we're here just for a very short time, we we come here uh, for one night, and then we pass on to China. On the other direction, when we don't have jet lag, we usually spend about a week in Korea. But obviously, I've got jet lag right now, and you can see where we are. Um, it's like runs 24 hours kind of thing. Let me see if I can show you. Almost consider this a place especially for those that have jet lag. Actually, if you're traveling through Korea and you're going to have 24 hours at the airport, probably best is to come out here and stay at one of these hotels. There's actually a bunch of hotels. A lot of the we discovered this 2 years ago when we got delayed on a connection flight, and Asiana put us at a hotel over here, and we figured that actually this is probably the best place to spend the night. There are other hotels near the airport itself, but they don't have a lot of life around them. It's just a hotel and nothing around it. But this is like a mini town outside of the airport. And I like it because for this specific reason of when I have jet lag, I can come out and just wander the streets. So the last video you saw me, I was in Bainbridge Island. You can tell that I got no facial hair. Actually, I've got a haircut. Did that on purpose. Every time I'm coming through a place that has what I consider really good barbershops, I grew my hair, or I let my hair grow and let my facial hair grow a bit because I enjoy an hour-long haircut and shave. I don't have a lot of hair, up here you can see, but there are places around the world that I like for haircuts, and that's Thailand, Japan, and Korea. Ironically, China, I think ever since the razor came out, or electric razor, the idea of a barbershop doesn't exist, or they do, but they're just places that are on the sides of the streets underneath trees. They're not that. I've done them a few times, but I don't like them. I like the proper barbershop. So here we are in Korea. Just traveled from Seattle. One of the things I liked about the flight over was that I splurged and I paid for I think it's GoGo flight Wi-Fi. So right across the whole plane ride, I had a connection to the internet. It's not something that you want to be streaming YouTube or Netflix on it, but you can do enough on it. I was able to keep up with Facebook and Twitter and give tweets and take videos of as the flight was flying over Bainbridge Island, for instance, flying over the Olympics and the landing. And so I was able to take those videos and actually post them as I was flying along. There was one part. The reason why I did it was because there was a part of the wing that was kind of missing, and I was kind of concerned. I was like, well, I might as well document this. If it does go down in a negative fashion, at least there's documentation showing why it went down. But there was the flight attendant said there's no issue, and there was someone in front of me that was also concerned about the little piece of the wing missing. And so right before the plane was about to take off, I had opened up the windows and I saw that thing missing. And I don't usually call the flight attendant for these kind of things, but I did, and she came over and said, no, it's not a problem. And the person in front of me said, yeah, I was concerned about that too. And I think it was their first time to fly, and they were really concerned. We fly, hundreds of times, and I've never seen that. But the flight attendant said it was fine, and I checked on it throughout the flight, and it was fine. The landing was a bit bouncy. I think the currents coming off the ground were pretty heavy, and so when it landed, it kind of had one bounce before it settled down onto the ground. So that's the flight itself. That was having the Wi-Fi was a nice luxury. Plus, we were flying Delta, and they've got these little USB ports on the that you can charge all your devices. So my iPhone was charged the whole time. I do want to experiment with getting a USB to USB-C connection and see if I could actually charge MacBook, the new MacBook that I've got. But I don't have that cable, so that I'll have to experiment on that at another time. So here I'm on this town. Let's see if we can walk around a bit. People here, it seems like they're we do have restaurants open, 7-Eleven's open, and then we got other night owls. I guess those are the people that do this every night. See over there, I don't know what type of restaurant that is. Oh, it looks like a barbecue restaurant. A bit windy. I hope the sound comes through. At the windy part. Over here, got another restaurant. Lots of. Let's see over here. You can see. It's a body massage place. A lot of those around here. Those seem to be running 24 hours a day here. If we look up, there's a church. Looks like it's a 24-hour church. I see those all around Korea. At the top of the buildings everywhere, they have those churches. Intersection here. So the adventure for us is we always when we do these when we come, we always make sure we visit with our family. As you know, Alex, she's born Korean but American, so we still have family here. So we make sure that we have a chance to see family. So in this case, we got to see my mother-in-law and my niece, and everything was going good. We were doing a normal family get-together kind of things, having dinner and all that. And this is home-cooked meals. So the nice thing about having a mother-in-law, she's an awesome cook. She always comes out with home-cooked meals, and I got to enjoy some there was this fish that was kind of spicy and encased in a batter, and I had a zucchini that was cut up in little slices that was cased in batter. Amazing rice. The nice thing about my mother-in-law, she has her own land, so she can grow her own food. And so all the food that she makes it's farm grown. Has no pesticides on it. She knows everything about it. That includes the rice. She'll grow her own sesame seeds, grind them down, make sesame oil out of it, and sometimes we'll have big stockpiles of that stuff. And you get used to that, and then the normal stuff that you get from the store is just not the same. But anyways, my niece started to get a stomach ache, and when they're young, they don't know what that pain is, and so we figured the pain was just something small and would go away, but it just got worse and worse. And so we left the hotel room, we went to a pharmacy, see if we can get something taken care of through the pharmacy. Went to the pharmacy, got something, gave her. It seemed like it didn't make it any worse or make it any better. So then we went back to the hotel, tried to brainstorm, and the hotel people said, why don't you go to the airport, because they've got a hospital unit there, to see if they can take care of it. So we caught a cab, went to the airport, went to the hospital that they have, and this is around maybe 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, I'm not exactly sure. And there was a receptionist there. They said, "Oh, we can't do anything for you." And I don't go to hospitals that much, but you would think that when you go to a hospital, they're helpful for what you need. And in our case, we don't know what her problem is. She could have appendicitis. Could be that bad. If it's that bad, that's emergency level type of care. So it was really frustrating to see that they have this facility, but they can't help you. And it's kind of ironic because I know there's like sort of a battle between the Incheon International Airport and the Singapore Airport, and they're always trying to get the #1 rating. And I was picturing in my head, I'm guessing that if I was in Singapore and we went to the medical unit, they would take care of us. In this case, they were like, "We can't help you." And the thing is, it's not like both Alex and my mother-in-law speak fluent Korean, of course, and they're communicating her, and they cannot do anything for us. So we got back onto a cab, went back to the hotel, and we had to actually say goodbye to my mother-in-law because they were going to drive all the way into the city to one of the hospitals there to take care of her. It made me think, this town that's right outside of the airport, it's all nice, but if you have a serious situation and you need medical care, you've got to go all the way back into the city to get help, and that's another hour drive. So it was frustrating. Both of us were like, well, we're going to have to write back to whoever the committee that does these rankings for airports and definitely give them feedback on this situation with their medical center not being useful at all. Oh, I got some drunk people coming out here. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. They just came out of the bar. And so that was our experience. Of course, both Alex and I are jet lagged, and we're trying not to be snappy with each other, but we're trying to help our niece in this whole situation. But it was for this trip that we've had, it's been good except for that part. Dealing with the surprise of not getting medical help, and I'm sure we're gonna give feedback on that, and hopefully in the future the medical center could be actually helpful. But for those of you who are going to be traveling through Korea and you try to go to that medical center, I don't know if you're going to get much help out of it in the airport, at least. So I've been talking about 15 minutes now. The next step is it's 3 in the morning, actually. Yeah, it's 3:45 in the morning. I'm going to wander around this little town, and then we head out to the airport and fly to Nanjing. And I can see if I can keep up these video posts despite being behind the firewall. I'm sure I can figure something else out. And that's it for now. See you later. Bye.